Good morning. Happy Friday, everyone. Today is National Coffee Day. So just lucky that we're doing our coffee in a card on this particular day. I am using one of my fall mugs. I use this for, I love Sorcerer Mickey, and I used to teach music. So the Sorcerer's Apprentice was a fun thing for us to watch in the fall. And October, I kind of did it, you know, sort of Halloween and magic and all of that stuff. So this time of year, I pull out my Mickey mugs. So that's what I'm using today. Drinking some Pete's coffee today. I like to mix it up a little bit. But we'll wait for some people to come on, give some people a chance to log on. And we have a fun, easy card today. I think I often say it's easy. But, you know, if you think about it right, then, you know, it doesn't have to be complicated. All right, so some of you might be crafting along with the replay. If you are watching live, remember to leave a comment, say hello. We get to know each other, chit chat, be engaged. That's what live is all about. Well, life is all about that too, engagement, right? No matter what you do, get engaged, be active, and enjoy what you do. I didn't ask you guys to cut yet because what you choose, how we lay it out might depend on what you choose. Or vice versa. Okay, what you choose will depend on how we lay it out. Because you might choose different things for different parts. Okay, taking notes, Nadine. Baking. Oh, okay. All right, yeah. All right, I get it. All right, so you will need a half a sheet of cardstock. Cut the long ways. All right, cut 4.5 by 11. Hi, Lee. Good morning. And scored halfway at 5.5. Then you need 2, maybe 3 pieces of designer series paper. One will be, if you like the back side, then you will use a piece of that. Okay, Nadine, you've done this card before. This is something that we've done on our Mojo Monday meeting, okay? So that's okay. You can, you probably have those notes already. But no, this should be fun. So you'll need at least 3 different designs. Like I said, one, if you like the back of it, the piece we cut off, you can flip over and use on your card. So you'd only need 2 pieces. But anyway, this one is going to have some diagonal cuts and little crisscrossy things to it, and it should be fun. I have done a few of them. Like I said, I did this with my New York girls. We meet on Monday. We call it Mojo Monday. And I did these cards with them, and I made up a few others, but I'm going to do some different designs with you. So now, you know, maybe I'll have 6 or 7 different designs to show you. So it should be fun. So cheers, everybody. Happy National Coffee Day. If you don't drink coffee, well, then cheers to people and people who do and say enjoy. All right, so here's the card we're going to make today. Which one should I show you first? I'll show you the bear one first. Okay, so this one is unique. Oh, I better turn my other light on. There we go. This one is unique in the way that it doesn't have a full front. Okay, see that? It has a diagonal cut, and then we're going to cut the designer series paper to match that. And then we're going to have opposite angles on the inside, and you have your spot to write up here. So just a little bit different. And they all will have some kind of a label and some kind of die cut, and then a ribbon in the background. So you'll see the theme as we go along. I will make a couple, and then I will show you... Oh, let me show you one other one, and then I'll show you the other 2 later. Okay, so here's another one with fresh as a daisy paper. So the paper is a lot of the focal point, and then we have some little die cuts here. This one had the bear punch, okay, which I just punched that out of the designer series paper. Okay, the stamp set that it coordinates with is a polar bear. I mean, from the Very Cute. So the bear punch coordinates with the polar bear, which I could have colored it in brown, but the Walk in the Forest designer series paper has those bears right on it. So I was able to cut out one of those bears, punch out one of those bears with the punch and call it a day. Didn't have to color that at all. So it's nice that the stamp set and the punch kind of coordinates with 2 different designer series papers. Alrighty, so this one, see how we need 3 different designer series papers. Now, I believe, I did this one a while ago, I believe this little angle here is the back of this that I cut off here. So, like I said, if the back of the bigger piece works for you, then you can use that. Otherwise, I'll show you how you can cut that piece from a separate piece of designer series paper. So that's why I didn't give you the measurements for that ahead of time. So you see how you might want to choose your more focal type images for your bigger piece. Something a little more neutral in the middle, and then something more contrasting down below. And, these obviously are just colors that coordinate with that, but they're the back of the Fresh as a Daisy designer series paper. Hi, Laverne. Nice to see you on. Okay. And then this one, obviously, just 3 totally different patterns that you might not think would work together, but they do. All right. They all came in the same pack, obviously, so they should be coordinating, but nice. And then we put a few little gems on. These are the glitter sequins, so it looks a little bit like maybe some little frost on there or something. And then these are the enamel dots in the in colors that I used there. And we have different kinds of labels. So any kind of label will work on here. A circle, a rectangle. If you don't have a punch or a die cut to make a label, just cut a rectangle or a square. It's okay. Anything can work to put your sentiment on. This one obviously was stamped, and this one was heat embossed. So it shows up on the darker color. So a lot of different options there. This one has the copper ribbon, which comes in this duo pack, copper and natural ribbon combo pack. So it has that natural ribbon in there and the shiny copper, which is very, very light and obviously very shiny too. It's lovely. All right, so I'm going to show you how to make this. It is super easy. And like I said before, I seem to say that a lot, don't I? Oh, this one's easy. This one's pretty easy. All right. Okay, good morning, Michelle. Nice of you to join us. Okay, as I said before, if you are watching live, leave a comment, say hello, and you're entered into my raffle. Oh, so before we get started, let me announce the raffle from last week. And I don't know if I've seen this person on this morning or not, so maybe when she watches the replay. But congratulations, Michelle Collins, raffle winner from last week. Thanks for joining in last week, leaving a comment, saying hello. And Michelle happens to be one of my team members. She's in my downline, and she's been having a lot of fun as a demonstrator. So, Michelle, this is going off to you. This is Painted Christmas. This is from last year. This is retired, so you can't get this anymore. But you have a quarter pack of these 6x6. It was 12x12. I cut it down to 6x6 so I could mail it easier to you. And there are some of the back designs. So I hope you enjoy that with your holiday crafting. That will go off to you either later today or tomorrow. All right, so watch for that in the mail. Congratulations, Michelle. Gym instructor, this is easy, simple. Yeah, I guess it's a matter of perspective, right? Oh, Michelle, you're on. Yay. Congratulations. Alrighty, enjoy that paper. Enjoy it. Okie dokie. Let's see, which card should I do first with you? All right. Actually, I picked out a few different designs here. I'm going to use I'm going to use this paper here. This is the 2022 to 24 in colors. This is Tahitian Tide, and sometimes this paper gets overlooked. We have, Stampin' Up! Has each year packs of 6x6 paper that comes in the different in colors. Okay, so each year they change the design. This one has these designs here, hearts and dots, and then the stripes and the little slash marks. Right, there are 2 different pages and obviously 2-sided designs. So they have them in the 22, 24 colors and in the newer 23, 25 colors. And like I said, each year the patterns are a little bit different, but they're both the same with each in color collection. So they can, be found where you see the assortments. On, I don't remember what page that is, 124 or 5 or something like that. Anyway, so I'm going to use these because I am going to try, and like I said, I haven't made this particular one before. I'm always experimenting in front of you. So I'm going I wanted to use this color because I wanted to use this set. This is a new set I haven't played with yet. Little Dreamers. I think it's adorable. I needed a new baby set. So, and I love the little animals on there. And these could just be birthday too. Okay, a kid's birthday. And I think it's adorable. So, I'm going to do Little Baby Big Love and use the elephant on that. Alrighty. So, we need a sheet of the Tahitian Tide. Oh, actually, you know what? I apologize. I said to have colored cardstock, and that's what I did with all of the others. So you can, if you're crafting along, still use your colored cardstock and use your designer series paper. But I'm going to break my suggestion here for a second because this has so much of the blue on there already as the background. I'm using a white base, okay, and I'm using thick Whisper White cardstock on there. So you might want to try that sometime too, if there's a lot of saturated color here. So it's not like I have white background and then it gives contrast for the colored base. So, all right, so whatever. All righty. Oh, yes, okay. Oh, thank you, Krista. So not only does this come in the in colors, but it also comes in the color families, these patterns, these 6x6 patterns. So you can get them in the brights, the regals, the neutrals, whatever. All right. So, for instance, this was the regals from last year. This was just a different pattern, but all the 6x6 have the same pattern, just the different collection of colors. All right. Thank you, Krista, for mentioning that. Yeah, I forgot to say, yeah, they come in all the families as well. All right, so you have your card base, 11 by 4 1/4, and we are going to cut that angle. Okay, so I'll get back this one. See how we want to cut that one on an angle. So I'm going to show you 2 ways that you can do that. A quick, easy way is, okay, let's say I just scored this, right? I scored it the halfway. So now I would move my paper over and I would put that top corner at the number 1 inch line. I will swing this around to the 2 inch line. And so then that's going to, when I cut it, it's going to cut a diagonal. All right, so I'm usually all about kind of the process, and I don't always like to mark things up or do too many steps. I like to kind of take little shortcuts. So again, once you score it, if you think of just leave your paper in your trimmer, slide it over until the top corner hits 1 inch, and just pivot this so the bottom corner meets 2 inches. And then you're going to cut that. And now that's the front of your card. And you have that angle. All right. If that scares you and you want to be one of those, measure extra times and then cut without making a mistake, this is what you can do. You can pretend this is, well, I'll flip it over. Okay. You can measure 1 inch up here. Okay, I like to use my grid paper You can put a little pencil mark at the 1-inch line on the left. And then you can do a 2-inch line, a 2-inch measure up on the right side. And put a little pencil mark there. So if that makes it easier for you, a little bit more visual before you cut it, that's fine. Because sometimes cutting angles and twisting, you know, some people get a little turned around by it. So 1 inch on the left, 2 inches on the right. And then you can just fit that into your trimmer and connect the dots from there to there. And just give that a slice. Okay, so it's going to work out the same way where you have your 1 inch over there and your 2 inch over here. So you'll have that visual so you can see it both ways, right? So that you can make sure that you have things oriented correctly. And my suggestion, guys, is when you are marking things with a pencil, of course, very lightly use a soft lead. And I like using the pencils with a white eraser because they will not leave marks. If it does get dirty, I just rub that off on some scrap paper and rub it away, and then it's nice and clean again. So, see, it just rubs off very nice. It's a nice soft eraser, and it works nicely. Okay. Now we need, okay, just throw away that extra, well, not throw away, keep it maybe for another day. You can cut a 1 inch strip. You can maybe make some geometric other pattern with it. I plan on trying to do something with that and come up with a good idea. All right, so then with your designer series paper, you want to decide which one's going to be your bigger part and which one's going to go on the inside. So I was back and forth with, I liked the hearts on the front because I cut out of Tahitian tide this decorative circle punch. That's going to be my label. And then I have the little elephant. I had him. He ran away someplace. Oh no. Well, he will turn up. I know he's here. Here he is. He got stuck in my white paper. So I have that little elephant that I've already punched and colored with my blends. I mean, I've stamped and colored with my blends. I'm going to die cut him out because he comes out with he comes with die cuts to coordinate with that set. And then I'll put my sentiment on a smaller circle in white. So because I'm going to have that one on the front, I could use this in the back. So let me see. I'm going to start this with, we want it, because this is 4 1/4 wide, we want this now 4 inches wide. So go ahead and cut that, whichever one you're going to have as your main focal point, the biggest piece of DSP. Okay, 4 inches wide. And we're going to go 4 1/4 long. Okay, so orient it the proper way. Even though these hearts look rather random, there is a top and a bottom. If I did this, they'd all be sideways. So be aware if your paper is one or the other. Okay, so 4 inches by 4 1/4. Okay, because we want it to be, we have that little 1 inch border on either side. And we're going to have a border down here as well. So I'm going to show you how to get this angle very easily. Maybe I should have a darker paper underneath for you to see this. All right, I'll take this for now, just so you can see it better. I'm going to line up, and here's my card. I'm going to line up this lowest point with the left bottom point of the designer series paper. Line up the left side and line up those points. Let me show you what it's going to look like on the inside. Okay, so that's lined up right there. And I'm going to hold it firmly in place. And now we're going to cut that. All right. Now, again, if you really wanted to, you can lightly trace it and then take it out and cut it with your trimmer. And you have to erase those lines, and you might get a little edge on here. But I will show you another way to cut this if you don't want to do it this way, or if you want to use a different piece than this. All right, so I like to use nice long bladed scissors when I'm doing this, because smaller scissors, you would have to cut, you have to squeeze it together too many times and you might get more of a jagged edge. With long bladed scissors, you could get more of just a clean swoop. And I'll have to do it one more time and then I'd be done. All right, so you want to make sure that you have that nice and straight, because this is a piece that you can still use. So this now fits nicely with a border all the way around. Okay, so that's going to be my front of my big front of the card. Now we have to put the other DSP behind here. So this is the piece I cut off here. I can flip it around and it becomes my bottom piece here. So then I just need to put something in between. So using a third pattern, I could use either the dots or this. Obviously I have lines here. I don't like that. That's too big for the smaller things here. I could use the dots. But then I'm not so sure I like that so much, because this is sort of a random thing and this is kind of bold. So what I might do is not use this on this piece. I'm going to show you what to do. I might prefer to use this as my more subtle piece in between the bolder prints. And I might cut this so that it goes up and down. And then I could use this down below. I think that balances a little bit more, don't you? So that's why I said you want to think about which papers you're using. And sometimes you're not really sure until you actually lay them together and, you know, see what is going to work best. So I'm going to take another piece of this designer paper with the hearts on it, because I want to use the back, but I want them to be vertical. I just like the way that's going to look better. So for this, we need 4 inches wide by 2 1/4, well, 4 inches long, you might call it. But it's going to be wide on the card. All right, anyway, 4 by 2 1/4. I'm going to cut the 2 1/4. And then 4 inches. All right. And I'm going to save this for another card. I will definitely be able to use that at some point. All right, so now that's going to go inside my card like that. And then we'll put the other piece across. So since I'm going to use the dots for my little piece, the little angle over there, now I need to cut a 1-inch strip from here, and then we're going to cut that on a diagonal. So we need it 4 inches by 1 inch, because remember this part here was the widest part, and that was 1 inch. Yep, just checking. 1 inch. So let's cut 1 inch. Now this one doesn't really matter which way it goes. Okay, there are more visible lines going this way. It doesn't mean that's the way you have to use it, because this way it's just a little bit more staggered and it looks a little bit more random. So I might cut my 1 inch thickness this way. I know sometimes I overthink things. Sometimes it's good. Sometimes you don't have to. Then I'm going to make it 4 inches. And then we're just going to cut it from one corner to the other. Now you want to make sure you're going in the proper direction. So I'm going to take that piece that I cut off the other and make sure I'm cutting from the top right to the bottom left. If I did it the other way around, then the angle would go in the other direction, and I don't want that. All right, so I'm just to be sure, take the piece that you took off, or think it out. Think it out before you cut. Top right to bottom left. And here's my advice again. Some of you have heard this before. When you're cutting something from a point, don't bring your blade from below directly onto that point, because it's going to damage that point a little bit. Same thing if you do it from the top. You want to start your blade more in the middle. And you know what? This is going to be a little hard to hold. So I like to take a little piece of washi tape. Or, actually, it doesn't have to be washi tape. Take a sticky note and hold it down with a sticky note. You can, and the sticky note can even stick to here. We usually all have those around, right? Okay, and it gives me something to hold on to here as well. All right, so anyway, start with your blade in the middle and then work your way down and then back up. So you're not coming head on onto that point and damaging it. All right, so now my diagonal, my triangle is in the proper angle, and I could use that on my card. Okay, so I like that a lot better. I always like to lay it out first before I glue it all down, in case I decide I don't like something, I want to make the changes. All right, so let's glue it all down, and then you get to decorate it. Okay, people who are crafting along, what papers are you using? Or which papers, if you're not crafting along, which papers are you thinking of using? What are you envisioning? Yeah, this goes on the inside. You want to leave that 1/8 border on either side and below. And then this is going to meet right up with the edge and the bottom. All right, now here's one other thing you want to make sure you do. You want to make sure you get glue right down to that tip there. Now that's going to be a little bit tricky without it oozing out. So one thing that I like to do is I like to kind of get close, and then just with my tip, bring the glue, spread the glue over there. Or you can use a little sponge to get that done, because you don't want that tip coming up and getting wonky. That would look bad. Dandy Garden has to fussy cut it. Oh, okay, Barbara. Well, you did a good job fussy cutting them the last time. I'm sure you'll do fine. There's worse fussy cutting that could be done. I'll have to show you a card that I showed at my boot camp the other night. We were talking about fun folds, and I was teaching people how to do some easy fun folds, and then I was showing them some more advanced fun folds, just to be aware of what things are out there, so to speak. And there was one that a card I pulled out that I did a while ago that had a lot of fussy cutting on it. Okay, I hope I'll remember, and I'll pull that out a little bit later for you to see. But yeah, it was like the most fussy cutting I've ever done on a card. But I love it. That card isn't going to anybody. It's just staying here as a museum piece. Okay, oh, Gingham Cottage. Yeah, that would be nice too, Patty. All right, so there's our basic card. Isn't that a cute idea? So now we just decorate. So let me take my dies, and we're going to have my little mini cut and emboss machine here. We're going to cut him out. there. And see, when I do these things with you, I get stuff all over the place. So now I have to find those dies. I had them out. Here they are. Covered them up with my cards on the side here. All right, so here are the dies that coordinate with little dreamers. So you have one for each of the animals, but then you have extra little things like the cloud. Oh, that would be cute on this card too, wouldn't it? Maybe I'll do a couple clouds too. Some flowers, some stars, moon, just fun things. I was so excited when I saw this. It's so cute. So, so cute. All right. I don't want this to move, so I am going to put a little piece of washi tape on there to hold it down. Oh, you like it too, Michelle. Oh, ready to ride. Oh, okay. I can't wait to see your projects then, guys. Make sure you share on Facebook. I am getting more people sharing different things. People are sharing their craft rooms, and some people are putting their pictures, their card pictures up there. So we love it. That's what we want. We want people sharing. That's what it's for. It's not just me, putting everything up myself. It's for all of you guys to be involved and engaged with. Okay, so in he goes. So the mini machine is great for these little jobs. Obviously, it only has about a 4-inch base, so you can't use all the embossing folders. Only the small ones that are, the catalog will say it can be used with the mini machine. All right, so there's our guy. Make sure your dies get back where they're supposed to be. And, well, why don't I have the machine out? Why don't I do a couple of clouds? Let's see what that might be really cute. Oh my goodness, this tape is very hard, very sticky. I put these on magnet sheets normally, but like I said, it's new. I haven't used it yet, so magnet sheets have not come out. All right, I have room on this paper for some clouds, so we'll run that through too. Cut the small triangle. Yeah, well, okay, the replay will be there. Not to worry. You're going to cut a 1-inch strip, 1 inch by 4, Michelle, and then cut it on a diagonal. You just have to think out which side. But with the side up, you want to start from the top right to the bottom left. All right. Oops, I got to turn this around. Okay, remember when you're die cutting, flip your plates around. Don't always put them in the same way. They will warp, and then you won't be able to use them. Also, it will help even out the etching, so you get more use out of that. Oh, goodness, look at that. That's going to be so cute. Ooh, love it. Okay, we'll put the clouds back away. Okay. All right. I wanted to use the decorative circle punch. Okay, this is about 2 1/4 inches wide, and oh my gosh, this is going to be adorable. Now, I was thinking I could stamp on black on there if I wanted to, or I could heat emboss with white, but I didn't want to get into heat embossing today, so I just decided to bring out some white scraps and a 2-inch circle punch that would fit on the inside of that. So let's see what that will look like. And I could stamp on that with Tahitian Tide. So I would like to use Little Baby Big Love. damp with Tahitian Tide. Okay. And in it goes. Maybe I should think about where that goes. Maybe I should have the letters a little lower to have room for the clouds. Maybe not right in the middle. Oh, I could always adjust the clouds. I'll keep it in the middle for now. Then I have room for some embellishments too. All right, so that's going to get glued onto there. Oh, I did this again. I have a jar for my glue that I keep that in. And the glue that's stuck on the bottom helps seal the tip so it doesn't fall out. But I also have a jar for my little scraps. Sometimes I put the glue in there. Now all the little foam dots stick to the end of my glue. Oh well. Not the worst thing that can happen. All right. And then a little bit of ribbon. Oh, I have a white one that's open already. Hold on. Okay, now there is a white iridescent ribbon that's in the catalog now that would look really cute on this as well. But this is one that I have. It does bring a little shine. Let's see what happens. This is from the new mini. It's silver and white sheer ribbon. And we'll put that behind there like that. And it's okay if it extends down below the flap of your card. And the front flap, it's okay. All right, so that looks really cute. I'm going to attach that on the back. You can do it with glue, but it gets messy, so I like to use glue dots. That way it adheres quickly without mess. So just stick your ribbon right on the glue dots, one on top, one below. And then adhere that onto there. I'm going to have it a little bit at an angle. There we go. All right, now typically I would raise that up with dimensionals, but because I have the clouds here, I'm going to put them up on dimensionals instead. And my my little elephant as well. And maybe I should bring this over just a little bit more. Okay, so I'm actually going to glue this one down because the other things are going to be raised. Ooh, get out of there. Okay, we'll put a little elephant there, like we said, with dimensionals. 2, 3, I guess 4 would be good. There we go. And then some clouds up there. All right. For these, I think I'll use the mini dimensionals. Nice to have that option so that you don't have to cut the others apart. And I like to use my pick tool to pick them up. So 2 on there. Maybe 3 on this one. Okay, do you think? That looks good, right? I'll overlap them a little bit. Won't overlap the dimensionals, but just overlap the edge. So it can look a little more natural that way. Cute, right? See, I get as surprised as you do sometimes because, like I said, I just took this design and I just knew I want to use this set and this paper, but it just sort of comes together live here. So that's like a live musical performance, right? All right, so here's our card. And then we could put some embellishments on there. Take my adhesive eraser, got a little something sticky on there. Okay, so embellishment wise, let's see. You put a couple of the pastel back sequins on there. That could look cute because that's the right color. Just a few. Let's see. Okay, there's some large ones and some little ones. Okay, just a couple little ones I think will do. Well, 3, right? You want to do odd numbers. So let's do 2 down here. Actually, maybe I'll do 1 big one and 1 small one down below. And then a little one up here. Here. Not sure. I would normally think here. Is that too much near the cloud? Nah, we'll put it. Maybe it looks like a drop of rain. Drop of rain coming down. Okay. All right, so there we go. Adorable, right? And you have room to write inside there. Alrighty, yeah, what sets and papers to use, Cresta? You'll find something. It works with anything. Really does. Really, really does. As you can see, we have that one. I make sense of my thing here. I showed you the daisies. And I showed you the bear. I mean, those are all so different, right? All different kinds of paper, different themes and whatever. Let me clean off my stamp so I don't make a mess. You and Al-Marie can have a contest and see who comes up with best design first. How about that? All right. And then here's some others I did now. Here's one with the, let me move these up out of the way a little bit. Here's one with the oxidized copper paper. And this was actually part of the daisy, Fresh as a Daisy paper. And then I used the die cuts from the Autumn Leaves bundle to cut out those leaves. All right, so here are, I didn't put them all on my magnet sheet yet, but just use those to go around there. Added my gems and label. There you go. All right, and then here's one totally different again with the Melon Mambo, bright pink, and the what's it called? The why can't I think of the name of it? It starts with masterfully made, masterfully made paper. The one that looks like it's kind of decoupage and torn paper and the nice bright colors. So look at that. Look at that mix and match. Right? So it can really work with any card. If anybody wants to still hang out a little bit, I'll whip up another one or two. But now that I've taken my time to show you how it works, then the others will go quickly. So I was thinking of Calypso Coral, and I wanted to do a fall one. So I was using inked Botanicals 6x6 paper, inked Botanicals, and love those colors, and I love the fall theme on that one. See, I like to have things out and ready, but then they get buried. That's the problem. What happened to my other? Well, you know what? Easy enough just to cut a new one, as long as I have that pattern again. Over here. Oh, okay. I wanted the leaves. Is it the back of that one? Yes, it is. All right, I'll just cut another. Quick and easy. Okay, 4 by 4 1/4. Put those aside. Line it up with the corner down here. Hold it nice and tight. Long scissors, cut off the bottom. And then that becomes the piece underneath. And then I was using this piece, 2 1/4 by 4. Glue it all down. Oh, on the inside, if you have a color, you might want to put some white or some vanilla in there. Let me get a piece of that. Glad I thought of that. Okay, I keep a bunch of those already cut, ready to go in my stash. All right, so there we go. Glad I thought of that. Okay, if you didn't do that before, just cut a piece that will fit above the designer paper. All right, there we go. So if you're working long and you didn't do that piece, if you had colored cardstock, just cut a piece and fit it up against there. Okay, just put a little pool of glue there and drag it a little bit to the tip so it's really thin, but there's adhesive there. Okay, and that one will be there. Okay, I'm not going to do all the labels and everything, all the decorating. I'll do that up later and post it. But at least you'll get to see some of the color combinations. Right? Okay, so there's another idea for that. And then I was also thinking it would be pretty with the Countryside Inn paper. So I've already cut that angle off, right? 1 inch to 2 inches, zip. And now I want to show you, I wanted to use this pattern on the front. Now this one obviously has a very symmetric kind of a thing to it. So I couldn't just willy-nilly, cut and then it would be off-center or whatever. So I wanted to kind of show you a trick, an idea of how to get that centered. I knew I wanted 4 1/4 inches tall. So I cut that. That was pretty easy. I wanted this on the top and then I found where I wanted that to be, 4 1/4. So now I want to center this. So here's the way I do it. I like using my grid paper. So if I tip this up a little bit, maybe you could see better. So I'm going to find the center of my design with my grid paper, and I can see that that's here, right? And here. So now, because I want this to be 4 inches wide, I know I can go to 2 on this side and 2 on that side. And then that's going to give me just the size that I need. Okay, 2 by 2, and it'll go in there and it will be centered. Right, so don't forget using your grid paper. The top part has from 0 and works the measurements out. So it's easier. You don't have to do the math. You have to just, okay, I'm at 8, so I have to go to 10 over there and 6 over here. Not that that's hard math, it's elementary, but one less thing to think about. So I would do that. Now here's where I pull my pencil in again. Just make a little mark. Or, okay, I'm showing you different ways. You can make your little mark, 2 and 2. Or if you want to skip that part, just use your trimmer and line that center up with your channel. And then you could measure the 2 over here. Okay, does that make sense? I mean, you're not going to cut here, but you could use this. You don't have to use your grid paper even, is what I'm trying to say. All right. So then, now that I know where that is, I will put that up there. And I could cut that. Now, here's another way that you can do this. You could, since you know that's the center, you can line that up with your 2-inch line and then cut over here. So the only thing is that you would want to make sure, so you also have a 2 here, so you can line that up and line that up. You want to make sure that it's straight and not crooked. So one thing that I kind of did was, if you take like a piece of scrap paper or something, you can line up your line this up to the 2-inch line, because once you put it up against here, you can't see your measurements anymore. So now I know that's my center. Then I can make my cut on this side. And then I know over here I need 4 inches. So then I'm good to go. And does that make sense? I'm kind of like marking where that center is. So now my design on my designer series paper is centered. And then I can continue the way I did before. Bring that down there. Do a nice little swift cut. All right, oop, got a little off there. There we go. Glue that down. So you'll have to come back and see how I finish off decorating these with the labels and the die cuts. At least you see the patterns going on. And then I can use that one down there. And I thought in between I would want a darker color. So I'm going to use this one here because it brings in that boho blue. That would be 2 1/4 by 4 again. See how quickly this goes? Okay, the decorating is the harder part, right? So just get your background going. You could do a bunch of these like I'm doing now and then do the other parts later. Sort of more assembly line style. 2 1/4 by 4. Do my white piece underneath. And I know I love this Countryside Inn. I used it a lot when it first came out. Then now with the mini out, I'm tending to use more of the stuff from the mini for the seasonal. But I'm definitely, this is definitely one of my favorites. I love the blues. I love the blues. I know Nadine does too. She's my blue Stampin' Pal. Okay. Even my grandson knows I like blue. Whenever there's something around, he said, oh, this one would be your favorite because blue is your favorite color. Oh, he knows. All right, guys, wrapping it up here. Okay, so because I had to trim this one a little bit, it's not going exactly to the corner here, but that's okay. It doesn't matter. It's more important that you line up the left corner here. All right, so now look, isn't that pretty? So really, this is even so pretty here that I'm not going to do quite as much as I would with, as I did with some of the others. You know, these were more background patterns, but, you know, this is kind of a focal point itself. So I'm going to use a smaller label and just a little ribbon, probably this boho blue. And maybe I'll even just use the ribbon a little bit in a different way. I'm thinking maybe the scalloped oval punch, because there's sort of a scallop going on here, and that would be a little smaller. So, or maybe I'll just even do more of an angle cut like this. Oops, wrong scissors. These, see, it didn't work, because these are the fabric scissors, nice and sharp. But you could even just do a strip of ribbon. Don't have to have it looped over. So you have to come back to the page and see what I end up doing with those. Hey, thank you. I'm glad you like them all. And Joanne, I'm looking forward to meeting you in person next week. Okay, next week, guys, I'm doing, if anybody's local or doesn't mind a little bit of a drive, if you're not too far away, I'm doing a World Card Making Day retreat. Okay, we're going to have a lot of fun from 1 to 5, probably at my home here. But if I have too many people that I can handle, we'll find another venue. So we're going to have fun. We're going to have lots of make and takes. We're going to have some games and some time for you to just work on your own, opportunities to make some cards for troops, and some snacks, and just, you know, a lot of fun, a fun day of stamping together with friends. So that's $45. You're going to get at least $20 worth of products in making, you know, for making some of the cards and the make and takes. And then some little fun little pillow gifts too. So I know if you are interested, then show up. Yeah, Debbie, I wish you could too. How about a road trip? There's some hotels nearby. Maybe someday when I have a bigger retreat, it'll be worth the drive. How about that? We have an overnight, we have a weekend retreat. I'm going to warm up to that. So I'm going to start little. All right, guys. So if you're interested in that, if you live, you know, fairly close, want to come for the day, feel free. And otherwise, have a great weekend. What else do I need to tell you? I'm going to turn my camera around. I will post these pictures of these cards individually on the Facebook page. And I'm going to turn this off so it's not glaring in my eyes. Bright light. Sip of coffee, everybody. Cheers. Oh, thank you, Patty. Thank you. I just wanted to mention, I just finished my Stampers Boot Camp. It was a 3-session class for people who are beginners. A lot of you that are joining me this morning, many of you are avid stampers, but if you know of anybody who's just starting out, or maybe you are if you're watching, I did this 3 sessions, consecutive sessions of Stampers Boot Camp, where I took people from beginning on how to use the inks, which inks to use, how to care for stamps, like some basic kind of things that we did. And then we kicked it up to doing certain cuts using the different kinds of paper, different kinds of how to do die cuts, how to do embossing. And it was very sequential from session 1 to 2 and 3. So it was a 3-week class, so to speak, but people signed up for either 1 or 2 or all 3. And I think it went well. It was well received. Patty was there, Michelle was there for one of you. So, you know, if you have any input, you know, please share. And so if I do that again, just kind of keep that in mind. You know, hopefully it will be helpful to some of you or some people that you might know. So maybe I'll do it again in the spring, sometime after the holidays. All right. Oh, coming up in August. August is, Stampin' Up! Is having a great offer for joining. Okay, some of you might know that Stampin' Up! Has been around for 35 years. So some of the things that they're doing are related to 35. So their offer for joining Stampin' Up! As a demonstrator is you could get either 35% off of the starter kit. So it's normally $99 and you would get $125 worth of product. Instead, it'll be like 67 or 68. All right. So you could get 35% off. So $67, $68, you get $125 worth of stuff. That's an awesome deal. Awesome deal just for signing up and joining, and hopefully you choose me as your team leader. And also you can have another option where you pay the $99, but you get 35% more product than the $125. So I forget what that number is. I had it and I can't do the math in my head, but so you would get, did I say August? Oh, October. Okay. I'm sorry. Thank you, Debbie. October. Oh yeah, August passed already. Stampin' Up! Doesn't plan that far in advance. So October, that's right. So in October, if you join that whole month, then that's the deal that you would get. And you would get to attend one of the demonstrator only events. It's an online event this year. Sometimes it's live. This year it's virtual. It's called On Stage, and it's a whole day of stamping and learning and just kind of hanging out with some of the Stampin' Up! CEO and crew and other demonstrators, and it's really a great thing. You get to do that for free, which is normally like a $70 registration. So a lot of fun things. So if you're considering, if you are an avid customer, you're spending a lot of money, then you might want to join just as a hobby demonstrator. And your only minimum that you have to do is $300 in retail per quarter. So that's like $100 a month, but you get 20% off of that. So you're really just spending $80 a month. All right. Or it doesn't have to be monthly. It goes by the quarter. So $240 per quarter is all you have to do. You don't have to ever sell. You don't ever have to have a customer. If you want to, there's lots of opportunities there, but don't feel obligated. People say, oh, I can't do videos. You don't have to do videos. Stay at home, do your stamping, enjoy your discount if that's all you want to do. So there's lots of great advantages to be had with that, to be part of my team and to be part of the big Stampin' Up! Community. All right, so that's all good. My paper share is over, so those things will be going out. There are some things that are not available at the moment, so I will kind of wait a little bit and see. I'm having a big order come in today where I'm going to start sorting things out and then hopefully get that out to you guys soon or when the other things become available. And so in the meantime, happy stamping. Have a great weekend. Thanks for joining. And oh, good. Barbara, share your cards. Everybody share your cards. Put them up on as a comment under here. You can only put one photo per comment, but you can put as many comments as you want. All right. So thank you so much. Yeah, thumbs up to you guys too. And have a great weekend, everyone. Thanks for coming on.